Shanghai International Circuit then, a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, tests their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and overtaking is available into turn 1 and of course down the kilometre-long back straight into the hairpin at turn 14.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
Lines up on pole position.
Hi guys, CombinedYoutuber here. Welcome to the F1 2016 Quick Race Career today. We'll be doing the Chinese Grand Prix, the third round of the season, as Sergio Perez in the Force India. And we have a light rain race to deal with in this race, which is going to be interesting. We have a wet race for the first time. So I'm not the best in the light rain on this game, because it's very realistic in this game that you don't have the grip. And I decided to do a formation lap in this race for the first time. Just for this season, we do a formation lap. So here we go, starting the formation lap behind Max Verstappen. We did have a little bit of a jump start on the formation lap, because I haven't done one. This was the first ever time I did one in this game, so I wasn't used to it. But now here we are, with still behind Verstappen on the formation lap, and we'll have a look at him there. It's a little bit cheeky. It's getting a little bit cheeky down the inside. And now coming into the next corner, where we're lining up on the grid at the final corner, reforming the grid for the race start. And here we go, lining up on the grid. We are starting from 8th position. The game is just never going to... Just warning you that the game will never put us on pole. So I won't be on pole ever, but I hope I can win a race this season. But here we go. The grid is pretty much formed, as we cut it out because it's going to waste time. The grid is pretty much formed, and here we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. The lights are coming on for the Chinese Grand Prix. 4 lights and 5 lights. And it's lights out, and away we go for the Chinese Grand Prix. And Max Verstappen got a really good start behind Kimi Raikkonen. We've had a flying start down into turn 1. We've passed about 2 cars already, but we've broken way too early into turn 1. There's contact with Max Verstappen and with Kimi Raikkonen. We have made contact with them. And that's a good start to this Grand Prix. Here we are from Max Verstappen's point of view. And yeah, we were on the inside, we broke way too early, and that might be my fault there. I've just completely turned into them too. I think that's my fault, to be honest. I completely turned into them. Verstappen crashed into Raikkonen. The Verstappen rejoined the track, actually rejoined in front of the Toro Rosso, I think it was, who got hit. But here we are with Massa and Vettel side by side through turn 3, and Massa has actually got the move done on Sebastian Vettel. And now coming up the inside into turn 6 on Sebastian Vettel and on Felipe Massa, we get the move done on both of them into 4th place. This is a good start to the Chinese Grand Prix. I didn't know I would drive this well in the wet, to be fairly honest. I'm not the best in the wet in this game, as I said. Here we are, moving on to lap 2 behind Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. Now here we go, switching back to the inside, up the inside into turn 2 on Daniel Ricciardo, and we get the place into the podium, and that was a really good move up the inside into turn 2. Now let's check a replay of that. Oh, there was a bit of a glitch there. I don't know what that was. I probably checked something, but here we go. Coming around, here's up the inside into turn 2. That's a very good move. Ricciardo was just trying his best there. Didn't quite try to make his back there, but here it is from Ricciardo's point of view. You can see him, I'm on the outside, and then I switch back to the inside, just make a brilliant move there into turn 2, and we got 3rd place in this Chinese Grand Prix. Now moving on to the straight. On lap 2 of this Grand Prix. Team radio.
We're expecting the rain to stop in the next 10 minutes.
So the rain is gonna stop in around 10 minutes, so I don't think we're going to change the dry tyres in this race, but the rain is going to stop in 10 minutes, which is around, let's say, 4 laps time. But here we go, with the Mercedes fighting away, and Rosberg takes the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix away from Lewis Hamilton. That was a good move from them, up into 3rd place. And we have gone purple with a 156.0, which is
Keep this up.
alright, I guess.
Well done, piece of
Now into turn 1, what can we do with Hamilton and Rosberg coming into turn 1? Here we go, we're getting closer to Hamilton, we're going on the curb, and we're trying to go round the outside of Hamilton into turn 3. But can we get Hamilton? Hamilton's fighting back, we're side by side, but Hamilton has held on to second place. But now coming down into turn 6, I'm really outpacing this car. Up the inside of Lewis Hamilton into turn 6, and we get the move done. Well, no, don't get the move done. We got wide there. There's a bit of contact, banging wheels. We are side by side with Lewis Hamilton into turn 7, and Hamilton is trying to hold around the outside, but Hamilton holds on to the position into second place. That was a great battle. We're really outpacing this car this season. We're fighting with Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull. Like, that's the front runners. But now we go way wide there into this corner, and Daniel Ricciardo is behind us down towards the hairpin. What can he do to us on the outside into turn 14? But no, he doesn't quite get us with that rather terrible straight line speed on the Red Bull. But now we've got past Lewis Hamilton, and it's now 3 wide behind us between Ricciardo, Hamilton, and Raikkonen, I think. But we go coming down to turn 1. It's Vettel actually, but look at that, they're still 3 wide into turn 1 and into turn 2. Who is going to win out from this battle? It is Sebastian Vettel on the inside of Lewis Hamilton, and Vettel has won this battle. Wow. What a great battle that was between those guys. Here we go, Vettel's on the inside, Ricciardo's on the outside, and Ricciardo is actually the massive loser out of this, with losing 2 places. Here we go, here comes Ricciardo trying to go round the outside. He lost all the places. He was trying to go on the inside of Hamilton though. Here we go, onto the straight. We've got really bad traction. Sebastian Vettel is not going to shoot past us onto the straight. Vettel gets past us into second place, sorry. We're now coming and getting back into the hairpin at turn 14, as Crofty said about it at the beginning of the video. Here we go, trying to go on the outside. We're going to go for the switchback on Sebastian Vettel down into this corner, and it's effective, and we got back second place. That was a good move. But now, coming on to lap 5 of the Chinese Grand Prix, Vettel's going on the inside, Ricciardo's on the inside, and now it's going to be another battle between Vettel and Ricciardo. Here we go, coming into turn 2, they are side by side, Ricciardo and Vettel, and can we get Ricciardo on the inside? No. Yes, actually we can, into third place. What a battle this is. This hasn't actually been the best race so far. I don't think anything can beat Bahrain, to be honest, in this season. In terms of best race of the season, nothing could beat Bahrain. But that was some good fighting there. This has been a good race, just not been as good as Bahrain and Australia. This has been a good race so far, though. But our Vettel has held on to the position, and now coming onto the straight, where Daniel Ricciardo is now behind us, down towards this corner, and Ricciardo's trying to go to the outside of us, down towards turn 14. Here we go onto the straight, and Hamilton is now trying to go to the inside with that brilliant straight line speed in that Mercedes. Wow. Let's see that Hamilton's point of view. So here we go, Ricciardo's going to the outside, he's got a double slipstream, and here we go, he's just slipstream Ricciardo. Look at his straight line speed. He has got a lot of speed there down the straight. That was really fast. Let's see from the cockpit view what speed he went down the straight. Let's go 340, 350, 353 kilometers an hour. Lewis Hamilton went up to as he slipstreamed the two of us down the straight. As we're coming into turn 1 and into turn 2, Sebastian Vettel is ahead of us on lap 6 of this Grand Prix. We looked a little bit up the inside there. We're going to have a look at it again into turn 2, but we're going to go to the outside to let Vettel through, and we're going to go for the cutback on Vettel, and we've got the move done. That's easy on Sebastian Vettel. We get into second place. Here's the replay, and we just do a really easy switch back there on Sebastian Vettel. Now moving on to the middle of lap 6 of this Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel is moving to the inside, yes, the inside of us, and Hamilton's moving to the outside of us, so Hamilton and Vettel are at it again, coming down towards turn 14. What are we going to do? Who's going to win out here? We're going to go between Vettel and Hamilton into the hairpin, and we've got them both! How have we done that? We got them both somehow, and we made the move stick back up into second place. It was 3 wide through the hairpin. That is just unbelievable. Like, look, I'm speechless. That overtake, that is one of the best overtakes I've made, to be fairly honest. That was brilliant. That was, oh my god. Look at that. We're going right between them, and somehow I have made the move stick. I don't know how I've done that, to be fairly honest. I don't know how I've done that. I actually don't know how I've done that. Here's Vettel's point of view, with Hamilton beside him. You should see me going between them. Here we go. Yes, there's me going round the outside, and he's the loser of that, with 2 positions lost. That is just, oh my god. I still can't believe they've done this. See, it's Hamilton's point of view. He's the one ahead out of all of them. And here I come on the inside, almost pushing off the track there, but we get a brilliant move done. Back into second place. What a race this actually is, by the way. Not, obviously I said not as good as Bahrain, but it has been a good race. But nothing in the wet should be good. But here we go, Hamilton's coming to the inside of us, down onto the straight. Hamilton gets the move done into second place. And now Vettel trying to go on the outside, but not quite there. Here we go, to the outside of Lewis Hamilton, into the hairpin. But we're going to go for the switchback here. We are going to go for the switchback. We've cut back, and we've touched him a little bit there, but we get the move done back into second place. This is unbelievable. If we take second place, take our second podium in 2 races, that'll be really good. But now we need to see this replay. Here we go. We cut right to the inside here, and let's see the contact. Yep, there's contact, and there's debris. So who's lost a bit of front wing here? I think Hamilton has lost a bit of his, yep, he's lost a bit of his end plate on the right hand side. So that's bad for Hamilton. But now, on lap 9, we come into the pits for a new set of intermediate tyres. And we never get that pit lane right. We just never do. And I thought that actually the pit lane was there, but now it's actually there. So I didn't get that pit lane braking right. But now coming into the pits here in China for a new set of intermediate tyres. Here we go, what's the pit stop like? It's a 2.8 second stop. That's a pretty good stop from Force India. Here we go out of the track. In 10th, 11th place, Sebastian Vettel has got out ahead of us. Out of all of that, Vettel, who was right behind us, and we went between him, and now Vettel has undercut us, because he actually pitted way earlier than us, like about 2 laps before I did, or 1 lap before I did. But now on the next lap in the exact same place at turn 3, we are behind Sebastian Vettel, lap 11. And we have 5 laps to go, including this one, in this Chinese Grand Prix. Here we go, coming down into turn 6. Can we go up the inside of Vettel? Yes, we can go up the inside of Vettel. Into turn 6, we got the move done into 10th place. And we're setting a purple sector in sector 1. This is some good pace in the wet. I'm actually quite surprised by this. The driver in front is Nico Hülkenberg. There's now Vettel coming to the outside of us with that brilliant straight line speed in the Ferrari. And he sped past us into 10th place. But now we're going to go back on the inside. Into the hairpin. Yes, we've done it for 10th place on lap 11. Here we go, coming down into this corner. We're behind our teammate Nico Hülkenberg. We caught him up because he was I think he was fuel saving. I think. So am I actually. No, I'm going onto the straight. And here we go. Can we get Hülkenberg? We should get him into the hairpin, and we do get him into the hairpin up the inside. Into 9th place on our teammate Nico Hülkenberg. And that's our first real battle. But I'm surprised about this pace in the wet, to be fairly honest, because I'm not actually that good in the wet in 2016. Now there's the move up the inside, but I'm not good in the wet, and I'm just having some great pace here. I'm really surprised by this. I was really surprised myself about this race, where I was. But now here we are, Kevin Magnussen retired from the Grand Prix. We need to see what happened. This is not a good camera angle to see what happened. And oh, look at that battle ahead between I think the Toro Rosso and the Haas. No, Toro Rosso and Ferrari. But yeah, Magnussen probably has mechanical failure because he's pulled over to the he's pulled straight on into the hairpin. Let's see from his teammate Julian Palmer's point of view. So he's just following him down the straight, and Magnussen, yes, he's had an engine problem with his Renault, and Magnussen is out of the Chinese Grand Prix with an engine failure right in front of his teammate Julian Palmer. But now, onto the penultimate lap of this Chinese Grand Prix. And the DRS has actually been enabled. But we're not going to switch to dry tyres on this penultimate lap. We're just going to stick with the strategy. But this is a longer race, I would switch to dry tyres. But the DRS has actually been enabled, which is interesting. But now, moving on to the final lap of the Chinese Grand Prix. We're behind Jenson Button into turn 3. We're really close to him. Down into turn 3. We're getting a much better traction, and we get Jenson Button in the McLaren. Into 8th place we go. It's a good move. But now Nico Rosberg has won this Chinese Grand Prix. Mercedes have 3 victories in a row in this season. But now, we're actually really close to Carlos Sainz, but we're not going to get him. And now, final corner, it's 8th place in the Chinese Grand Prix and 4 more points to add to our championship campaign. It's actually a really disappointing result, to be fairly honest. I thought I was going to finish on the podium, but 8th place, we'll take it. And we finish it in the Chinese Grand Prix in 8th place. Carlos Sainz, a brilliant 7th, to be honest.
Another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrow.
And, yeah. Mercedes celebrate a 3rd victory in the row. Nico Rosberg wins his 2nd race in 3 races.
As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about
Mercedes are very happy, but hopefully we're going to have a different winner very soon. We don't need Mercedes winning every race. There's Valtteri Bottas, who has finished 5th in this Grand Prix. We didn't battle at all, but here they come onto the podium. Nico Rosberg celebrates on the top step. Ricciardo finishes 2nd. Lewis Hamilton finishes 3rd. The exact same top 3 as Australia. And there's Rosberg holding up the trophy and spraying the champagne. Here we go, they're spraying the champagne. Sprays it all over the camera. Thank you very much for that. But Nico Rosberg wins the Chinese Grand Prix in the F1 2016 Quick Race Career Mode.
And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a good result for Nico Rosberg, who extends his advantage at the top of the championship. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
I'm going to say Jenson Button. People always say he's a really smooth driver, but as he's shown here today, that's not at the expense of speed or overtaking skill.
It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
So Jenson Button has been given the driver of the day by Anthony Davidson. He actually quite deserves that. He started 16th and has finished 9th. But Nico Rosberg wins the Chinese Grand Prix, Daniel Ricciardo in 2nd place, Lewis Hamilton in 3rd, the exact same top 3 as Australia, sorry. Felipe Massa finishes 4th, ahead of Valtteri Bottas, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, me, Jenson Button, Sebastian Vettel, Nico Hülkenberg, Kimi Räikkönen finishes 12th, Romain Grosjean, Esteban Gutierrez, Daniel Kvyat, Marcus Ericsson, Julian Palmer, Felipe Massa, Pascal Wehrlein, Rio Haryanto, Fernando Alonso, and Kevin Magnussen, who DNF'd from this Chinese Grand Prix. And yeah, we saw that crossing the pit lane exit white line out of the pit lane. The Max Verstappen did get a warning for the collision with Raikkonen. So no, Kimi Räikkönen got a warning for the collision with Max Verstappen, which is weird. And in the driver's standings, Nico Rosberg still leads by 13 points from Lewis Hamilton, Dan Ricciardo in 3rd, Max Verstappen in 4th, then me in 5th. You have Felipe Massa, Valtteri Bottas, Kimi Räikkönen, Nico Hülkenberg, Sebastian Vettel, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Jenson Button, Romain Grosjean, Daniel Kvyat, Esteban Gutierrez, Pascal Wehrlein, Kevin Magnussen, Marcus Ericsson, Julian Palmer, Rio Haryanto, Felipe Massa. The constructors, Mercedes lead by 57 points, we need them to stop. Red Bull in 2nd, then Williams, then Force India, Ferrari, Toro Rosso, McLaren, Haas, Sauber, Manor, and Renault in last at the moment. And Sauber, Manor, and Renault are the only teams not to score points. But hopefully they will score points. I've seen a Renault score points before, so hope you enjoyed this Chinese Grand Prix. It was another eventful race, but not as eventful as Bahrain and Australia. But it's still a good race. See you guys on my next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and press the bell button for notifications. And goodbye.